Hello and welcome back, Cozy Club. We've got ourselves a special video for you guys today. We've actually done this before around September and October, but a lot has changed in the game since then, and you guys seem to really like the video back then. So we are back here again to talk about the top 10 safest characters to invest in within DSA. Now, resources, whether it's gold or gear, as you guys know, it's a big commitment to put all of your gear and all of your hard-earned resources into some characters. So you want to make sure you're investing into a character that's going to be safe for the long haul. Metas, they're always changing. If you look back at each tier list, there's so many different shifts, and there's some characters that don't shift as much as others. And then there's other characters that kind of go up and down with how the meta changes. And so in today's video, we're going to be talking about those characters that are very safe to invest in. And you guys are going to notice a couple things. Now, first of all, there's going to be no legendaries on this list. Yes. Hercules is safe to invest in. He's the best character, and he's going to be for quite some time. And other legendaries, they're all pretty dang safe to invest in. We're also going to be leaving off some damage dealers, which might confuse some people, but Go-Go and some other ones like Zerg, well, they might fade off damage-wise as the game progresses. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the best plug-and-play characters that you can invest in, and no matter what other characters come out in that faction, they're going to be able to benefit the other characters on their team. So Cozy Club, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our top 10 list, starting off with number 10. So let's start out with number 10, and that is going to be none other than the Sheriff of Nottingham. Now, he is a damage dealer, Cozy, so why does he make this list? Well, let me go ahead and tell you guys, first of all, his abilities are a lot different than the other damage dealers out there, and altogether, he offers what other characters can't. First of all, as you guys know, he has one of the most broken, one of the most crazy passives in the game that consistently steals up to 40% of the opponent's speed turn meter. Outside of that, he does a world amount of other things. His damage is both based on some scalable items. So first of all, he's got Big Belly Bully. That's always going to get better. We're always going to get more helpful effects in the game. And the more helpful effects on Sheriff, the more damage he's going to do. With the likes of Namari and these other Kingdom villains coming into the game like Claude Frollo, he's only getting better and getting more opportunity to gain buffs on himself to deal more damage and have to rely less on that Bubble Sheriff combo that we all know and love. Outside of that, he's also got another great ability, Well-Timed Treachery, that's going to go ahead and do some massive damage and then scale really well depending if they've got a shield. And from what we've seen, Quasimodo, just about everyone that's come out is starting to have shields on them, making it easier for Sheriff to absolutely nuke them. So that is why easily he's going to be our first on our safest characters to invest in list. Next up is going to be Rapunzel, and this might be a little puzzling for some of you guys, but we have just seen the beginning, just seen the start of what Rapunzel is going to be capable of doing. Now, first of all, starting off with just her lead here, guys, she's going to be the only lead with Princess Synergy, the only one to give speed and offense to the Princess faction. And we know we're getting much more princesses down the line. So right there and then you can invest in her knowing that she's going to be the leader of that pack. And again, as we wait for these other game modes, you're going to need more squads and more teams that are capable of punching up on some of those meta teams, and the Princess faction is definitely one of those. Rapunzel's going to lead the pack. She's got a great AoE restoration incantation that she uses. Golden Hammer for your entire team. One of the best abilities in the game. And then outside of that, she's got a stun, and she's got a stun on basic as well. Rapunzel, solid stats to keep her in the game and in the meta for a while, and the abilities to back her up. Now, we've got a couple not very shocking characters on this list, but they've got to make it because they continue to be a safe investment, Cozy Club. And that's going to be Cobra Bubbles. Now, whether he's going to be in meta teams in PvP or not really doesn't matter. His big turn meter removal that he has on the stare down is always going to be relevant. Most of the time, raids within these kind of games are always big on turn meter removal, and Cobra Bubbles is the king of it, guys. Now, Esmeralda, she'll be the queen of turn meter removal, but Cobra Bubbles with his passive, with his stare down, with Call Me Next Time, all of his abilities makes him a great plug and play character. He can fit into any team, And without question, if you just don't know where to put your resources, go and invest in Cobra Bubbles. It's going to be a great idea. He's not going anywhere, and he's going to be an elite support character for years to come. Moving on over, we've got ourselves Miguel, a character we don't get to talk about a lot on this channel. Want to change that because Miguel is becoming more and more relevant, not only in the meta, but I think he's going to be more relevant moving towards the future. Now, there is one little bit of risk with investing into Miguel, and that's if Zeus does come out and comes out soon and his leadership is absolutely insanity for the mythical faction, then yes, Miguel is going to lose a little bit of that viability, but he's a great cleanser. He does an amazing buffs. He does everything that you want him to do for a support character, and he's going to be awesome to lead the charge with the mythical characters, which I don't think we're done with yet. I don't think we have seen the last of the mythical faction. Miguel is one of those characters that can beat up just about any meta team out there, and once he becomes available to farm, he's definitely one that you want to invest in with full confidence without question. How can we make this list, Cozy Club, without DrFacilier on it? The Doctor, he's been the PvE king since well at global launch. He does everything you ask him to, but I think he is going to be future-proof for a couple of reasons. Now, first of all, he's got a great passive. That's never going to go away. His assigning of the taunt, I don't think we've seen how far that can go. Yes, you can give it to Hercules. You can give it to Mickey to make enemies kill Mickey. However, the Dr. F has a lot going for him, and downtown villains as a whole have not gotten enough love, and there's not been a lot of new downtown villains. So I suspect that to be a faction to get more investment into. Dr. F, he synergizes perfectly with the DTV, and altogether, he's got great control. Dr. F, very plug and playable, can fit into just about any team and works in any game mode. Definitely a Cozy certified safe investment. Now look, we've got to include him on the list whether we want to or not. He is obviously the most safe investment and is going to be the most safe investment moving forward by a mile, guys. Even if his leadership falls off, even if his leadership for some reason speed just doesn't matter anymore, which it probably always will, Hero Hamada has got a move set that if you spread them out to other characters, they would become instantly viable. The evades, the shields, the upgrades, everything that Hero Hamada offers is going to be useful in the long run, whether he's going to be the leader of your squad or someone just plugged in. You can definitely invest. If you're new in the game, dump everything you've got into Hero Hamada, and you're not going to regret having that, as it's going to be useful in the beginning of the game all the way to the end of the game. Hero Hamada is probably one of the most safe investments on this list, so obviously we had to include the little purple, blue, I don't know, whatever color that might be. Is he purple or blue, chat? Put down in the comments below, purple or blue for Hero Hamada. We've got Pocahontas, guys. Now, Pocahontas is going to be safe for several reasons. First of all, amazing plug and play character. As you guys all know, great cleanser, great healer, great damage. Also, she's got a leadership that's always going to synergize with any hero characters that come out. It's not going to be stuck just to a certain group of characters. You know that if they're on the hero faction, her leadership is going to give them great bonuses. And then on top of that, in January, we did get a little wild refresh, but we haven't seen the wild faction get a lot of love, and they get a ton of bonuses from this lead. From all of Pocahontas' kit, you see a lot of wild synergy, and I just don't think we have seen all the wild characters come out in the game. So Pocahontas, definitely one of those characters. She's a princess, so she's going to help you unlock other characters. She's a great plug-and-play character, good for the raids, good for PvP. You can't go wrong with investing safely into Pocahontas. It's going to go a long way. Now, Cozy Club, let me go ahead and tell you guys about Ursula. If you don't have her, if you do have her, Ursula is going to continue to dominate not only in PvP, but she's going to be useful in every aspect of the game. First of all, she's a very hard character to unlock, and typically in games like these hard raid characters to unlock, well, they pack a punch, and they're always going to be well worth it in the meta for the long haul. Ursula does extreme damage, has great control, uses the eels to synergize well with the villains, so any villains that come out is going to pair perfectly with her. Whether she's the leader or not, she's going to be great to put into a villains team, into an Oceanics team, and she's definitely going to be on the top teams in the meta, at least for a year or more. I definitely think Ursula, without a doubt, if you have unlocked her, if she's at 5-star, put your gear into her, take her up to T8, one of the least regrets that you'll have in this game is taking up the Sea Witch herself. Dominate the arena. Definitely a cozy certified character to invest in as well. All right, so we've looked at 8 characters that are the safest to invest in. Let's go ahead and look at the last 2 on today's list. We've got really great ones so far. Ursula, definitely worth that investment. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the last 2 are going to be. And it's going to start off with Pain and Panic, guys. Pain and Panic are definitely going to be characters that are safe to invest in. First of all, amazing villain synergy, but even if you remove everything from their kit but the stasis, that is what's going to make them last. They have the opportunity to be put into any team, shut down the biggest threat on the opponent's field, and it's game over. You guys, I know they're not the sexiest characters. Not a lot of people want them right out the gate, but I can tell you, out of all the teams that I continue to theory craft, the ones that I've invested in a ton. And I mean a ton of characters, and Pain and Panic are definitely the ones that I have least regretted putting gear, putting ability runes, putting gold into because of what they can offer on the battlefield. I think Pain and Panic are going to continue to evolve with the villains that come out. Like Frollo made them way better, and I'm sure more villains that come out are going to continue to do so. So if you haven't already, start farming Hercules, get Pain and Panic unlocked, or if you already have Hercules and you haven't invested more than about gear 6 into them, go ahead, push it to gear 7 and 8. They're definitely a super safe investment. And that is going to lead us to the last character on today's top 10 list, Cozy Club. The last character that's going to be the safest to invest in right now within DSA, safest to be plug and played into any team, and it's going to be none other than the newest Esmeralda. Now, Quasimodo, he got left off the list. I didn't want to put both of them in here, and in my testing, Esmeralda is going to be a bit more plug and playable. Esmeralda has so much to offer and the stats to back her up. First of all, she's a big cleanser. She can completely manipulate the enemy, give her own team buffs, dispel buffs on the other team, cleanse silence, cleanse other harmful effects. She's got the entire package, and she can do some nice damage on that basic attack. I think Esmeralda is going to be used in the raids with the big turn meter reduction. She's going to be used in PvP for a long time to come as Kingdom continues to scale up in faction. Altogether, Esmeralda is one of those new characters that if you're trying to find a new project, you can definitely invest in her with guarantee that she's going to be safe in the long run for the raids, for the new game modes that are going to be in the future. Definitely Esmeralda is one that I recommend, and she had to be included on this list. Now, Cozy Club, what I want to talk about last here is who got left off the list and why. There's definitely great characters in the game. We already know we left off the legendaries in there. We've left off people like Gogo. We've left off Zerg because we just don't know how damage is going to scale in this game. But altogether, these are going to be the top 10 safest characters that are going to be plug and playable to put in. So if a new Oceanic comes out, you can go ahead, plug Esmeralda in that Oceanic team, and go on your merry way without having to invest into a bunch of other characters. So, Cozy Club, hopefully you enjoyed today's list. Again, you do want to be investing in your big damage dealers. They're definitely characters you want to put investment into. But as far as safety goes, as far as characters that are going to be good in the long haul, this is going to be my top 10 list of the safest characters that are going to be plug and playable into any team. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's list. If you like a video like this, go ahead and leave a like button down in the corner below. And if you haven't already, join the Cozy Club today. It's absolutely free to be a subscriber and definitely helps out the channel to help me do and create more content. And Cozy Club, I appreciate you guys stopping by today's video. Have a beautiful day for some DSA on the way out. And until next time, stay cozy.